Thank you very much, Saggers. Well, when you hire Jose Mourinho, you do it for one main reason. You want to win. Tottenham are not going to win the league. That was the preserve of Liverpool and Jurgen Klopp from very early in the season. They're unlikely to win the Champions League, but they can win the FA Cup. Not since Venables led Tottenham, laden with talent, Lineker, Gascoigne, Mabbutt, have Spurs won the FA Cup. That was 29 years ago. You have to have a longer memory to remember the last time and only time that Southampton won that famous old trophy. 1976, the year of the long hot summer, and 12 months before the arrival into the world of Danny Mills. Who does this mean more to?
Well, I think Tottenham are desperate to win this competition. You know, everything about their previous manager, obviously Mauricio Pochettino, was about he hadn't won a trophy. Tottenham haven't won a trophy. They've come so close on so many times. They were always known when I was growing up as a cup side.
Yeah.
You know, that's how they were. I think I bought the blue shirt, the dark blue shirt with a Holston logo.
Did you?
Just a shirt. But that was the era of Hoddle and Waddle and people like that. And
Clive Allen.
Oh, sensational at the time. And it was quite different. The third strip back then was almost unheard of. But they were Tottenham with the cup side every year with a one in it. You know, that was for them, wasn't it? You know, for a long period.
81, 91.
Well, and even with 87,
61.
Gary Mabbutt, what a cup final against Coventry that was. Obviously, they lost it. Absolutely superb. So Tottenham, Mourinho, absolutely desperate for a trophy. And if they win one, Mourinho comes in and goes, job done, smug look, and off, and then he can do what he wants next season.
Yeah, I mean, he's probably going to do that anyway, isn't he? I mean, he's got that sort of presence of mind. Certainly, he likes to stick down an early marker. But he's done that with the League Cup in many clubs that he's been at previously. But obviously, the FA Cup is his most likely route to success. So
but if he wins that, Sam, and he comes in and goes, well, Pochettino tried how many years to win this? How many other managers? I've only been here 6 months. Got myself an FA Cup, job done.
He'll enjoy it. Game day returns on Saturday. You'll enjoy that too. 2 games involving Everton and Palace and Brighton and Watford. But tonight it's all about whose nest the Canaries are going to land in next. Jose looking to win back-to-back matches for the first time since he started with 3 wins in a row. Ralph hoping to wreck his FA Cup dream. Live on TalkSport, it's Tottenham against Southampton in the FA Cup 4th round replay. Tottenham attacking the goal away to our left in the first half. White shirts and navy blue shorts. And Southampton in their change kit of dark blue and yellow, shooting from left to right. Our referee tonight is David Coote. Our VAR is Stuart Atwell, and we're off and underway in the FA Cup with Tottenham lining up pretty much as I suggested earlier, I think, with a 3 at the back in Tanganga, Alderweireld and Vertonghen, and the 2 wing-backs, Sessegnon and Aurier over on the far side.
And then it's 2 sitters, Sam, isn't it, by the looks of it? Looks like it's going to be Eric Dyer and Harry Winks both sitting in front of the back 4 and allowing Ndombele to just go roving a little bit.
Aurier playing high up on that right-hand side, as he likes to do anyway, even when he's deployed in a 4. So it just gives Spurs a little bit of added protection with the speed that Southampton possessed down that left-hand side. Here's Toby Alderweireld, who's just in front of the centre circle. He strokes it wide towards the right, picked up by Tanganga, who plays it out further to the touchline. Aurier infield. Winks gets it back to Tanganga, then Alderweireld hooks it long like a rugby kicker, sending it out towards touch, but it's kept in, and Ndombele tries to bundle his way between 3 jerseys right on the edge of the centre circle at the base of it inside the Tottenham half, and then does a lovely twirl away from Romeu, slides down the left side of the centre circle, plays it infield. It's cut out by Bednarek, who does well to read that situation, and it's cleared up over the halfway line, and Southampton bring it away with Sofiane Boufal, who scored in the previous game between these two, chased by Sessegnon, plays it against the Southampton player, and it goes out for a throw in deep inside Tottenham territory. 0-0, 90 seconds played.
Fabulous turn from Ndombele, allowed the ball to run across him, took it with his back foot, swiveled on it, got away from the defender, and then just dug his pass into the ground a little bit.
Danny Mills alongside me, Sam Butterface, in the commentary box at the new Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. It is a wondrous place to come and watch football. You feel like you've stepped up a level every time you come in here. It really is a palatial surrounding. Here is Danny Ings, just back from the D, attacking the goal away to our right, chesting a ball down from Redmond, goes out wide to Redmond. He goes all the way back to Bednarek, who takes it to his goalkeeper Angus Gunn, whose only appearances have been in the FA Cup, having been dropped in the aftermath of the 9-0 thrashing from Leicester City. His save percentage of 55% in the Premier League this season is the worst of any goalkeeper to make 5+ appearances in that division this season.
I'll tell you what, though, Sam, you know you're getting old. I played with his dad. That's always a worry, isn't it?
Here he is on the ball, all in pink, away to our left. He plays the ball across the floor to James Ward-Prowse in that unfamiliar position of right full-back, but his manager saying he'd play in goal if you asked him to. He's so versatile and yet committed to the football club. Here is Bertrand in field to Højbjerg, out wide to Redmond, who spins it on towards Long. I think the offside flag was up against Shane Long. The Irishman loses possession. Dyer quickly gets it forward onto Son inside the area, kills it with one touch, goes towards the edge of the 6-yard box, then sets it up for Sessegnon to strike. Never looked comfortable actually as it was coming to him on his left foot as he approached the edge of the penalty area. It was pulled back by Son after a delightful ball by Dyer and a brilliant bit of control, but Sessegnon didn't have the power to take it beyond Angus Gunn.
It was a brilliant ball over the top from Eric Dyer. Son was clearly onside. I've got to question Jack Stevens' positional sense. Never really went towards the ball and attacked it, and it was laid back into Sessegnon. It was a little bit tame, wasn't it? It was a side. It was like, I'll just make sure I hit the target. A little bit soft, a little bit of a timid side foot.
Aurier skips away from Bertrand, gets into a right wing position for Tottenham Hotspur, thunders across into the box, is blocked by Romeo, but finds Ndombele, edge of the area, tries to play it forward, gets it back off Lucas Moura, and then there's a tackle from Romeo which gets Southampton out of a sticky situation, and they look to counter-attack very quickly and smooth gallop forward over the halfway line. Redmond then clips the ball towards the right. It might come to Danny Ings, who takes it inside the defender and shoots low. It's saved by Hugo Lloris, but that was an excellent move by Southampton, a very quick counter-attack, and Redmond's ball to Ings was superb, and so was the way he took it out of the sky and brought it inside Vertonghen to get the shot away.
Great breakaway, as you said. I thought he was going to hit it first time as it came across. It was a delightfully lofted ball over the top. I thought he was going to hit it with his right foot. He checked back inside, and it just bounced up a little bit high for him to get over it, and he just dug it into the ground a little bit. But what I will say is, when you look back at that, we talked about defending earlier. Vertonghen turns the wrong way. He completely turns his back on the ball, and he can't see anything. All he has to do is open his body out, and we always say, get your shoulders down the pitch. And that's what it is. Poor defending.
He struggled this season at left back, at left centre half.
That's basics. That's the sort of thing you're taught from 14, 15, 16 years old. Get your shoulders down the pitch and just open yourself out.
We are hoping, and it certainly has started this way, this is going to be as entertaining as the last time that these two met in an FA Cup replay, 1995. Blackburn were champions that year. Andy Cole went from Newcastle to Manchester United, and Eric Cantona had just kung fu kicked a fan when Saints were beaten 6-2 in a replay by Spurs in the FA Cup 5th round. I hope there's as many goals as that tonight. Certainly we've had a bright start.
Made me debut that year, first team.
Against Angus Gunn's dad.
He was in goal. No, he was in goal for Norwich. Away to Luton, and I gave away a penalty on my debut. That didn't go so well.
it got better. Here's Højbjerg out towards the far side. Played back into midfield. Blocked by Ndombele. Goes out for a throw in midway inside the Tottenham half of the field. He played in a World Cup quarter-final. Got a lot better.
Did all right.
Here is Stevens out wide to Ward-Prowse. He's a couple of steps over the halfway line into Buffal. Buffal being chased by Sessegnon. Back to halfway and Ward-Prowse, and then all the way back to Stevens. And Stevens will just turn, look up, and try and stroke the ball away into space, and then maybe over-elaborates slightly and goes back to Gunn and plays him into trouble. Ward-Prowse has got to deal with a difficult ball. He does that well, plays it square into Romeo, who runs upfield towards the halfway line. Buffal takes it in nicely and runs across the centre circle, sprints out to the left side of the Southampton attack, and now into the Tottenham box. Low cross to the back post. There was a little touch on that from Hugo Lloris, which just took it away from Shane Long, who was rushing in towards the edge of the 6-yard area, being chased by Sessegnon, and it goes behind, and I think it's out for a corner.
Buffal does really well, but Ndombele just gives up on him. He's chasing him for 20 yards and then just goes, I'm not sure I can get there anymore. I mean, Lloris gets a hand on it and he almost diverts it into the path, doesn't he, as the on-rushing centre forward.
He took a gamble, didn't he, really?
I think it was Shane Long. It was one of those, it's almost like he can't let it go because it might just creep in the far post. And luckily for him, he didn't get a big enough hand on it to push it into the path.
Corner, low, in towards the near post by James Ward-Prowse, funneled away by Aurier, picked up by Ndombele, whose ball to Lucas Moura wasn't great, cut out by Ryan Bertrand, and Southampton are on the attack again. 7.5 minutes play, Talk Sport, live at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, where it's 0-0 between Tottenham and Southampton in the FA Cup 4th round replay. Here is Højbjerg just skating away from Alderweireld towards the edge of the area. Good twist by Buffal, so richly in command of the football, and he loves to just try and twizzle away from as many challenges as possible, that time running into a cul-de-sac, and eventually it's cleared up towards the halfway line. Redmond back in field onto Romeo, all the way back to Højbjerg, who's quite deep, and then guided all the way back to his goalkeeper, who is Angus Gunn, away to our left.
If you were a neutral, Sam, you'd never been here before, had no idea what the teams were, who would you think was the away team?
Well, certainly Southampton have a lot of the ball in the opening 8 minutes, and they've created two decent chances. We talked about it
beforehand that Tottenham don't have many attacking players on the pitch, and they don't really offer an attacking threat apart from Son and Moura, and that looks like it's going to be those little diagonal balls over the top. But at the moment, Tottenham are just happy to sit back in their own half, contain and allow Southampton the ball and come forward at will.
It's certainly something that has been levelled at Jose Mourinho recently. I mean, they won against Manchester City, so you can't criticise them too much for their approach in that game, but there were still reports suggesting that people think, you can't play like that at home.
Well, you can, because if you win, it doesn't matter. And that's where Mourinho is brilliant. He could not care less.
Dyer wins it on halfway. It breaks down for Southampton, and Lucas Moura sprints away. He sends it wide towards the right, and Aurier is joining the attack. He gets up towards the edge of the penalty area, then checks back, needs a bit of support. Didn't have the confidence to play it into Son, and goes back to the halfway line. Japhet Tanganga turns it forward, and then Ndombele tries to play it back to him. Goes through the centre circle. On halfway is Vertonghen, slides it out left. Now Sessegnon has it. He's been engaged by Buffal. He's sent the wrong way by Sessegnon, Buffal, and Tottenham regain possession once again. Tottenham 0, Southampton 0 on Talk Sport. Tottenham had a great result at the weekend, but it would be churlish to say it was a magnificent performance.
But it was winning, Sam, and that's my point. There is always the argument, two very similar managers in terms of trophies, Guardiola and Mourinho.
Long tries to get on the end of a Danny Ings long ball forward, a little back heel into Redmond. It's a really good one. He runs into the box, Redmond shoots, and it's saved by the legs of Hugo Lloris. A rather surprising and unorthodox save. Romeo back into the area. Ward-Prowse is coming around the back. Sessegnon gets in front of him and just edges him off the ball, and it's caught by Hugo Lloris on the edge of the 6-yard box, and it remains goalless.
I just wonder if this took a little nick on the way through. Yeah, it did. Tiny little nick off Alderweireld's shin, because it's almost like Hugo Lloris almost dived past it, didn't he?
Yeah, it looked a bit clumsy, didn't it?
But that was why there was a little touch on that. But just going back to that, with Pep and Mourinho, Pep will sacrifice winning to play outstandingly good football and play the way that he wants. Mourinho is not bothered about what people think of him, about how they play. All he wants to do is win. And that is where people say, well, actually, which way is the right way? Well, if you can win playing brilliant, fabulous. First of all, when Mourinho took over this job, and you look at the result of the weekend, I said, could Mourinho, even with one or two injuries, put together a team that could get through 3 rounds in the Champions League? Yes, it'd be difficult, but he's the sort of manager that can do that. And you look at him tonight, this is Southampton, and he's playing a deep block, against them, and he's quite happy to sit back and play on the counter-attack at home.
It's Tottenham 0, Southampton 0 in the 4th round of the FA Cup replay, live on Talk Sport with Fiat Professional range of vans. A true professional always goes the extra mile. Search Fiat Pro 555. Terms and conditions apply. Here's Sessegnon halfway.
Have they not sponsored James Milner yet?
Here is Winks over the top, and Sessegnon's in behind here. Can he take it down? He can. Can't finish it though. Ndombele might. Takes a deflection and goes in. Shooting from the edge of the penalty area. It hit a clutch of players. It might well have been Jack Stevens who got the final touch, diverging it beyond Angus Gunn. It's taken less than 12 minutes for Tottenham Hotspur to go in front. He's had his problems in Ndombele, but he got a helping hand there from a Southampton defender, and Jose Mourinho can celebrate Tottenham taking the lead. It's Tottenham 1, Southampton 0.
Incredibly fortunate for Tottenham. Very, very wicked deflection. It was decent. It was a good last-ditch tackle from Jack Stevens. It came out to the edge of the box and Ndombele hits it. I mean, we're now going to see the replay from behind it. I think it was going well wide. Yeah, it was. It's going way wide of the target, and he's incredibly fortunate. He scuffs his shot, he drags it wide. It hit Jackson, hits him twice, hits both knees. I mean, you couldn't do that. If you tried that a million times, it would never ever come off. It's just incredibly unfortunate for Jack Stevens. But it's 1-0.
You don't win the lottery if you don't buy a ticket, and Tottenham bought a ticket on the edge of the penalty area there, and then Ndombele, despite the fact that he was probably going to hit the corner flag, ended up hitting the corner of the net.
And my point, and I've got a bit lucky saying that you know, Mourinho's happy to sit back. He's not bothered about how they play, and he will take that. If Mourinho wins this 1-0 now, he's not bothered. End of. He will sit back, kill the game off if he wants to. We win the game, win the next round of the Cup. Job done. Unfortunate for Jack Stevens, who they picked up as a 17-year-old from Plymouth Argyle. 26 years of age now. And he chased back with Sessegnon. Did enough really to put him off. Good tackle. And then the shot from Ndombele from the 18-yard line went driving miles wide. And as he got up, it just sort of hit the inside of his right knee and then the top of his left knee, and that took it beyond Angus Gunn. I mean, you probably need a master's degree in physics to work out how that happened, but it did. And Angus Gunn was helpless in the Southampton goal away to our left-hand side, and Jose Mourinho, he's not smiling, but he's, I'm sure, bubbling inside. He is, as he says, yeah, I don't get that excited, I don't get so animated. And there was a moment against Manchester City when someone illustrated that Raheem Sterling might get a second yellow card, where he moved rather quickly and got very animated. But generally, of course, we want to see passion, you know, and we want to see enthusiasm. But as a manager, you know, you shouldn't be. I mean, we've seen him do it in the past. But you're supposed to be the calm person. You know, you're supposed to be the one directing events. 1-0 they lead here, Tottenham Hotspur, and the goal coming from a Jack Stevens own goal. No doubting that Jose Mourinho's improved this team. He's getting more out of them than Maurizio Pochettino did in the opening weeks of the season. If you compare the two over 12 games of the Premier League season, and Tottenham had 12 games up until Sunday's win over Manchester City, which of course gives even more credence to Jose Mourinho. But the special one had generated twice as many wins in his 12 games, more goals, more clean sheets, conceded less, and hadn't dropped a single point from a winning position. And that's something that has been ingrained into this team, not letting leads slip after getting them, which was what Tottenham were doing under Pochettino in the last few days of his reign. Quite a lot. And you can't afford to do that. And that's why, you know, it always makes me laugh, you know, that myth of, 2-0's a bit of a dodgy scoreline. Well, not really. I'd much rather be 2-0 up than be 0-0. And I think you always knew that with Mourinho. You know, give him a little bit of time and he was going to sort the defence out. Okay, it might appear from the outside that it's a little bit more negative. You know, he's going to. That's what he is. He's a defensive coach. He's an expert at that. That's what he's built every team where he's been successful. It's all been about the defence first and foremost. Well, they've gone from the bottom 5 to top 7 for expected goals, shots on target faced, and tackles won. Yes, they have been a bit more pragmatic. They've gone a lot longer with their passing, but they've also been more effective, and they lead here by 1-0. Vertonghen forward, up towards Ndombele. He's out-muscled by Højbjerg, not for the first time, then a second time. Dyer wins it back. Lucas Moura tries to hook it on in between the two centre-backs. It's met in the middle of the Southampton half by Bednarek, who sends it to his left-back in Ryan Bertrand, wearing bright orange boots with that yellow kit. Doesn't really work. Played in field towards Aurier Romeu. Romeu up to Long, who's beaten to it by rather alert Toby Alderweireld, who just nips in and sends it back to the halfway line. It's collected by Bertrand and then into Bednarek, and then it's swept out towards this near side. James Ward-Prowse waiting for it, takes it infield. Jose Mourinho comes out of his technical area to scream at Ryan Sessegnon. Another tackle by Buffal, turns the ball over well. Brilliant diving tackle by him. On towards Danny Ings, who twists away, plays it infield, finds Bertrand with a bit of space now, running at the edge
edge of the penalty area. Tanganga goes to engage. Just 10 yards back from it on the left side is Redmond, who plays it into Danny Ings, who couldn't take it in cleanly, then collides with Aurier, but still Tottenham have the ball and they bring it away. Harry Winks running into a bit of a knot of Southampton players, managed to keep his composure and just about get it back to Vertonghen, and Tottenham have it again deep inside their own half, leading by goal to nil. Good work by Ndombele, a couple of little tricks to go first past Højbjerg. Oriol Romeo was having none of it though. Free kick.
I think he was a bit lucky, Ndombele, taking a couple of liberties. Not sure he meant that little nutmeg first time round, then an incredibly difficult skill that he tried. Lost his footing, I think, more than anything else. Lost his balance rather than a foul.
Well, he went up towards Oriol Romeo, put his studs on the ball and rolled it back, and then tried to flick it between his own legs and then fell over. The legend,
though.
He got a free kick. The legend that is John Motson is back on stage alongside our very own Paul Hawksbee. New dates have just been announced in Southend on March the 30th and Northampton on May the 21st. Tickets are priced at £25, including booking fee. There are VIP tickets available too. Head to talksport.com/events now and you can secure your tickets. That's an evening with John Motson and Paul Hawksbee in Southend. Here it's 0-0 in the FA Cup in the fourth round. The winners will be at home to Norwich City in the next round of the competition.
Wind has just been taken out of Southampton sails, hasn't it?
Yeah, just a little bit, because they started so brightly.
Yeah, very good start. Pegged Tottenham back, had them on the back foot, and suddenly now it's like, you can just see shoulders have dropped a little bit. It's almost like they've suddenly lacked a little bit of belief.
Up until Saturday, they'd won 4 in a row on the road. Been in pretty good form, but they were blitzed by Liverpool, despite playing quite well in that game. Here is...
That's happened to the best, though, isn't it? No shame in that.
Ward-Prowse, lovely ball into the box, looking for Ings. He might get there, you know he does, he's hit the crossbar. Well, it wasn't great defending by Tottenham Hotspur, but it was an absolute peach of a ball from James Ward-Prowse. That right foot could crack a safe, and he certainly opened up the Tottenham back line, and Danny Ings was onto it in a flash.
Again, it's Vertonghen that's caught out down that side. Danny Ings is onto it. I cannot believe Hugo Lloris has not come out. I mean, what's he thinking? He's got to come out and stop that. The moment he sees that Vertonghen's in trouble, if he comes out early, he makes that. It's on the edge of the 6-yard box when Danny Ings hits that first time.
I think Danny Ings will be disappointed that he didn't score there.
It was almost like he was in shock that Hugo Lloris hadn't come out, and suddenly he had a bit more time than he thought. He went to go high, top of the crossbar.
Here is Bertrand from distance. It's parried away by Hugo Lloris into the path of Shane Long. Then he can't adjust his footing, and it's tucked out and away by Sessegnon and down towards the corner flag. The 5,850 Southampton fans away to our left in the corner of the bottom tier, away over on the far side, are starting to just get behind their team a little bit more.
Not convinced by Lloris, by the way.
Well,
it was a save that...
Here's Ward-Prowse into the centre, and then he sends a cross into the 6-yard box, which is caught by said Hugo Lloris. He certainly had his problems before he got his injury in terms of confidence and other issues that he had. Gazaniga came in and he had some issues as well. It's not a department I would say that they are completely blessed in. I know he's a World Cup winning goalkeeper, but he made a mistake in that final too, if I remember rightly.
He got away with one, didn't he? The first, there was the deflection, it just looked a little bit uncomfortable, and that shot there was almost in the middle of the goal. It took a couple of bounces before it got to him, so there's no real sting in it, but he still had to dive full length. Maybe just got his positional sense a little bit wrong.
He's been out for a while. After what I must admit, it is a very quick comeback. He was expected to come back in February, came back in January. I was at Brighton the day he injured that arm, and I actually thought when I saw it, and the stories that I heard from the tunnel about his screams and the morphine that they had to give him, it could be a career-ending injury. It's great to see him back playing once again. Here is Buffon, just inside the Southampton half. He's brushed off the ball by Lucas Moura. It's a free kick to Southampton after a foul by the Brazilian.
I think it's hard as a keeper to get your confidence back. I mean, as an outfield player, and I think Ndombele needs to do this a little bit, just play the simple ball. You know, he's tried on a couple of occasions to hit balls and he's given it away. So as an outfield player, it's much easier to just go back to basics and just go, right, okay, I'll just lend it to somebody and I'll build my way into the game. you can't do that as a goalkeeper because you don't know what sort of shots are going to come your way.
Flick on by Buffal. Ings tries to play it square, blocked by Dyer, who comes into the left fullback position and manages to clear. Sessegnon takes it on well into Lucas Moura. A lovely little touch by him onto Sessegnon, and now Sessegnon is speeding away. He's in behind the defender, gets to the edge of the area, tries to pick out Son. Well, at the far post, joining the attack was Serge Aurier as well. It just wasn't a very good ball from Ryan Sessegnon.
Isn't he supposed to be quick, Sam? I mean, he had 5 yards on Jack Stevens, and Jack Stevens caught him up there. I was very surprised. I was expecting him to knock that out of his feet and leave him for dead.
I just think the ball got sort of almost stuck under his feet, didn't it? But he certainly didn't get away and into space as you would expect him to do. And then when he got into that position where he could cross, he needed to just pull it back as hard as possible through the edge of the penalty area, and it didn't even reach its intended target. It remains 1-0 to Tottenham Hotspur here on TalkSport. Sam Matterface and Danny Mills in the commentary box tonight as we bring you live commentary of the only game tonight in the FA Cup. It's Tottenham 1, Southampton 0. Friday night on TalkSport 2, we've got Bristol City against Birmingham from the Championship at 7:45. Jim Proudfoot and David Connolly there for that one. Everton Crystal Palace kicks us off on game day at 12:30 on Saturday. At the same time on TalkSport 2, Wigan against Preston. Around the grounds with Adrian Durham. He's going to be at the City Ground for Nottingham Forest against Leeds. And then at 5:30, Laura presents Brighton against Watford, which is a big game at the bottom of the Premier League. That's 5:30. At the same time, there is Nottingham Forest against Leeds. That full game is going to be on TalkSport 2. 23 minutes gone here. 1-0 to Tottenham Hotspur. The ball is out on the left-hand side, and it's with Redmond trying to get infield. Ryan Bertrand tries to get the cross in. It's blocked and cleared away. It goes out on the far side after Japhet Tanganga has intervened, and it's out for a throw. Danny Ings has hit the crossbar. He had a cracking chance before that. Hugo Lloris has bluffed his lines a couple of times, but it's Tottenham who lead by 1-0, courtesy of a Jack Stevens own goal in the 12th minute of the game. 1-0 Tottenham lead here. The ball is out on the far side then, level with the edge of the Tottenham penalty area. Thrown in by Bertrand to the Spaniard Romeu. A little backwards of square pass into Bednarek, and then all the way back by Stevens to his goalkeeper Angus Gunn. And Southampton just trying to build from the back once again. That's not a great ball by Stevens, though. The idea, I think, being applauded by Redmond, but it was overhit by Jack Stevens and goes out over on the far side.
Tottenham have been very clever since they took the lead. They've just killed the game off. No, they've been very, very patient. They're happy to...
I mean, that's what you said they were going to do.
Well, but it's what they do. I mean, I don't think they've had a shot really since that. No real attacks. Okay, Southampton have a couple of half chances, but that's down to more mistakes than anything else. But they've just got this almost calmness rather than giving the ball away again.
Buffal out to the left and looking for Shane Long. He gets towards the corner flag, chops back in, plays it into Redmond once more. He's just a bit further back towards the edge of the penalty area. He's being chased by Ndombele, plays it back into the centre of midfield where Ryan Bertrand has progressed. Højbjerg, lovely turn out to the right. Ward-Prowse can cross here, does cross here, and then Vertonghen just stuck out his right foot, and it seemed to just loop up into the air and go behind and away for a corner kick. By no means a certain touch by the Belgian.
Yeah, be disappointed with that. Was looking just to clear his lines, 10 yards out, sort of level with the near post, and somehow ended up hitting the top of his foot and looping over the crossbar. Corners
to be taken by James Ward-Prowse. Defensively, there has still been trouble for Tottenham Hotspur. They've conceded a lot of chances on Sunday. Here is Ward-Prowse towards the back post. Stevens with a header, not a great one. Comes back out to Ward-Prowse on the near side. He sends it in left-footed towards the near post this time. It's easily caught by Hugo Lloris, and it will be cleared away by the French goalkeeper. They have kept the second fewest clean sheets, Tottenham, in the Premier League this season. Not a particularly proud record. One that Jose Mourinho, as Danny has already illustrated, is trying to rectify. Son picks the ball up off Lucas Moura. Suggestions of handball, but Tottenham's attack is allowed to progress. They come towards the centre circle, just inside the Southampton half of the field. They switch it to the right. Here's Tanganga. Further out to the touchline is Serge Aurier. Infield towards Lucas Moura. A ball down the right side of the penalty area, chased by Son, but it's Jack Stevens of Southampton who gets there first, and then it's up and away towards Redmond, but Tanganga once again is there. It's out of play and away for a throw on the far side. He's quite good, this Tanganga, isn't he? He's been a bit of a find. He defends well. He sniffs out danger. He's still quite young. He's only 20 years of age. I think he came into the team against Liverpool on January the 11th. He cleared one off the line in that game. He cleared one off the line in the first game between these two as well. And he's pretty adept at playing anywhere across that back line.
Well, clearly he's got technical ability. If not, you're not at Tottenham. You're not getting anywhere near the first team.
Oh, Lucas Moura has dispossessed Oriol Romeu in a dangerous position, and now they counter-attack Tottenham. Son has moved away to the right. Lucas Moura is still going, running towards the edge of the area, still trying to hold on to it. There's 4 of them trying to rob him of the ball, and eventually James Ward-Prowse does it. Then Lucas Moura goes across and ensures that the ball goes out for a corner kick. It was excellent play by him. There might be questions of whether he should have switched it out to Son a little bit earlier on, but certainly done very well.
I did incredibly. I think it was 5, even maybe 6 defenders coming across to try and block him out. Son's now coming across to take the corner. He could have possibly played him in, but Tottenham have no real intent of throwing people forward. It is a Mourinho type performance. 1-0 up. It's like, OK, we'll take that. If Southampton happen to score, then we might have to try and go and score another one.
Here's the corner on the near side to be taken by Heung-min Son in towards the centre of the 6-yard box, headed away by Jack Stevens. On the edge of the box, it's met by Ndombele, high foot. That's going to be a free kick.
I think it was handball.
Was it?
I think he might have just put his hand.
Well, he put his foot up, and if it hit his hand, that's pretty poor technique. Elsewhere tonight, in Scotland, there's lots of goals around, including in the game between Aberdeen and St Johnstone. St Johnstone have taken the lead in that match by a goal to 0. Hearts 0, Kilmarnock 1. These all in the Scottish Premiership tonight. Motherwell 0, Celtic 1. Key result for Celtic, looking to stretch their lead over Rangers at the top of the table. Rangers still 0-0 at home at Ibrox this evening with Hibernian, and it's Ross County 1, Livingston 0. St Mirren 1-0 behind against Hamilton. Stays like this, Celtic will have 67 points from 25 games. Rangers will still have a game in hand, but they'll be 9 points back. Here on the left-hand side is Bertrand. Low cross into the centre, looking for Ings inside the area, looking to take on Tanganga, who just makes a back for him and holds him off and allows the ball just to dribble behind and go out for a goal kick. Another impressive piece of defending from the youngster.
Well, we said, he's clearly got ability. If not, he wouldn't be at Tottenham, and he wouldn't be anywhere near their first team. But look at his attributes. He's strong, he's athletic, he's powerful, he's got a good engine on him. Clearly a good defender. He likes to tackle. He's got that natural aggression as well. So he's the sort of player that Mourinho will love, because he can mould him into what he really wants him to be.
And he will make mistakes.
Of course
he's still a young kid, but ultimately, if you've managed to be able to pluck someone from the academy like him and mould them into your team as quickly as he did.
He was fabulous, wasn't he, against Liverpool?
It was really good.
And then he got switched to left back, and he looked he struggled a little bit, on the left hand side. And it's a big step up into the first team. And playing right back in a more favoured position, OK, is fine. But then to get switched onto the opposite side, it's just awkward at times.
He played right at the centre halves. Here is Son inside the area from Aurier's pass. Tries to take on Stevens, who flicks it away from the edge of the 6-yard box, and it's cleared away. And Southampton take it up towards Buffal on the left-hand side. Tanganga played right of a centre half in that game against Liverpool in his debut. Then he played as a right back. Then he played as a left back.
I think it's that second game, wasn't it? He played started at left back, where it just looked a little bit awkward for him, and I completely understand that.
Might have been.
Yes, it was. I can't remember the Watford right winger. Ripped him to pieces. He had a real tough game that day.
Sarr.
That's the one.
Here is Vertonghen.
Ismaili Sarr.
To throw the ball in from the near touchline back to Eric Dyer. Hasn't seen too much football. I think he probably thought he was going to be one of the linchpins of the Jose Mourinho Tottenham team, but he hasn't been able to get through 90 minutes. Just has looked a little bit off the pace. Not necessarily tonight, but since coming back from his injury. Ndombele just in front of the centre circle inside the Tottenham half, stabs it back towards Tanganga, a flick by Son, and then it's cut out by Jack Stevens, and Tottenham are on the defensive again. And here's Romeu out to the left, and Buffal might be onside here. He is. He takes it towards the corner flag, then comes back in field. He faces up Aurier, produces a cross, not a particularly good one, and stooping to head the ball away was Japhet Tanganga, and it's out on the far side and away for another throw. Southampton trying to get back on level terms here. They've had the best of the chances in the game. Have
Tottenham parked the bus already?
I don't even think Tottenham have had a shot on target.
Well, they pretty much have, haven't they?
Even their goal wasn't on target.
I mean, when you look at them, they're quite happy just to sit back. As it is a typical Mourinho type performance where they've gone 1-0 up and you go, OK, We're just now going to sit back and defend. You'll create a few chances, but we trust in our goalkeeper. If we go up the other end and we manage to nick one, brilliant. But we're not going to force it, and we're not going to try overly hard to get another goal.
And they haven't dropped any points from winning positions under Mourinho in the Premier League so far. Here is Winks out towards the left. Sessegnon, not sure about that touch, but Lucas Moura has run onto it anyway in the left wing position. He's encircled Ward-Prowse and ran into the danger zone. He's stopped by Jack Stevens, and it's cleared away by James Ward-Prowse in the right full-back position up towards the halfway line. Header away by Alderweireld, out towards the near side.
You know there's no points in this game though, Sam, yeah?
I know there's no points in this game, but there's certainly a prize up for grabs.
And let's be honest.
Well, the point is they haven't dropped.
I know that. I'm joking. We sort of dismissed it earlier, but it's a very attractive tie, isn't it? Norwich at home, in the next round.
You're being disrespectful to your old team.
Yes, is the answer. I'm not even going down the route. I'm not going to be disrespectful, but no, I am, because I think either team, especially Tottenham, here at their home ground, will certainly fancy their chances against Norwich.
And those ties all in a clutch of midweek games. So there's 8 fixtures, and they'll be played across 3 nights in the middle of February. They haven't been scheduled yet for TV. They're waiting for these to be sorted out, these replays, as Redmond breaks down the right hand side, crosses it into the box, goes over the head of everybody and out on the other side and away for a throw in.
But I'm going to guess Chelsea Liverpool is going to be on the telly. Derby Man United's going to be on the telly.
Portsmouth Arsenal?
Yeah, quite probably. I think there's a possible chance of an upset, isn't it, Arsenal away?
I think they might do 2 on one night. Like they do with the BT or the Amazon games, where they stagger the kick-off times. I think they might do They might do a bit of that, just because it's 3 nights, and you probably want to get 4 fixtures away live on television. There's no replays, of course. Here's Boufal skating away from one challenge into the box. Redmond's turned the wrong way and then shot towards the far corner. Parried back towards Shane Long, and he does score from 6 yards out. And Southampton are back on level terms against a complacent Tottenham. Once again, their defensive frailties are exposed. Redmond with too much time to turn and get his shot away, despite going away from goal. Parried by Hugo Lloris straight into the feet of Shane Long. It's only his 2nd goal of the season, but it's got Southampton level in the FA Cup. It's 1-1.
I mean, Shane Long, right place, right time. I was surprised, actually. I thought that Redmond... I thought he'd cut back inside, and I thought the chance had gone. I thought he was going to take it first time. I'm not sure where Aurier is. Is it Aurier? Yeah, it is. There's no one picking him up at the far post. That's
There's
really
an acres of space, isn't it? It's ridiculous.
But I have to say, it's a poor save.
Yeah,
I mean,
totally agree.
The ball comes in. He's diving to his right-hand side. There's not a lot of power on the shot from Redmond, and we've seen this 2 or 3 times from Hugo Lloris so far this evening. He saved it, but he's pushed it into the danger zone, and up until then he'd got a little bit lucky. Lucas Moura
sends it out to the right hand side. Aurier with a cross into the box. Stevens comes across and manages to funnel it away, collected by Bertrand, and now on to Romeo. And now Tottenham have got to change their tactics again and start playing once more.
But look at it, now they're playing a high press. They're closed down. It's almost like Mourinho has a switch down there. It's like, we're 1-0 up, okay, we defend, right, equalised, now we go and attack. I mean, it's a very strange, and it's a very difficult way of playing like that.
It's like when you play FIFA, isn't it? When you have those certain buttons, so you have a sort of game mode where you're attacking,
that, Sam.
Or you have a defensive mode.
I can't even turn it on.
I think it's L2 and L1 together. Deck, our 19-year-old producer, is just looking at us as if to say, I don't even know what you're talking about.
I'm like that. I've just got back to the power socket and pressed on.
And then walked away. Tottenham 1, Southampton 1 in the 4th round of the FA Cup, live on TalkSport with the Fiat Professional Ranger bands. A true professional always goes the extra mile. Search Fiat Pro 555. Terms and conditions apply.
To switch, just being sat back and defending, so saying, right, we've conceded a goal, now we're all going to go and play the high press. That's very, very difficult to organise that.
But obviously the players are attuned to it.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Because as soon as they went level again, they switched straight back on and went and changed the tactic.
And I'm saying, you a lot of times you always say it's very, very difficult to just switch from one to the other and up the tempo and change it. But it's the sort of thing that somehow Mourinho gets his players to be able to do.
Well, Shane Long doesn't score very many goals, does he? But certainly he is on the score sheet tonight. His only other goal of the season was against Wolverhampton Wanderers. He made his 200th appearance for Saints at the weekend. 108 starts, 92 sub-appearances, 33 goals. He's out of contract at the end of the season.
He works so hard, though. He's one of those players that, he gives everything.
This is a problem. It's a problem for James Ward-Prowse. Just looks as if after following through there, Sessegnon caught him high up on the knee.
I think, his knee's just buckled a little bit. And I would suggest that's medial ligament damage that he's done there. It's just, as he's planted his foot, his knee's just gone backwards, twisted a little bit. It's probably just opened up that knee. He's in a lot of pain. They brought some oxygen down for him. That looks like a sore one. Yeah, it doesn't look very good at all. And Ryan Sessegnon is across there looking rather concerned as well. And James Ward-Prowse, who just a couple of hours ago was being spoken of as a possible contender to get into the England squad when it is announced for the March friendlies against Italy and Denmark, is now facing being stretchered off at Tottenham Hotspur's stadium with what looks like a very significant injury. Danny Ings just walking away from the situation. He knows all about tough injuries to the knee. It's a simple challenge with it, completely innocuous. There was nothing really in it whatsoever. It wasn't a bad challenge or anything like that. It's just the position of his knee that, as he's made the initial challenge, his knee, you just see it on the replay, his knee drops backwards, opens up, twists a little bit. You've got to hope, but worst case, that's a medial ligament. Maybe just pulled it away from the bone a little bit. Hopefully it's not more serious than that. Rangers are behind in the game at home against Hibs. It's Rangers 0, Hibs 1 at Ibrox. That game 37 minutes old. Celtic already 1-0 up in their game. And we've got a lengthy delay here as James Ward-Prowse is stretchered off. The oxygen's been put away, which is a good thing. He is on the stretcher, but he does look a little bit more comfortable now. They're going to make a change here as a result of that. I think Yannick Vestergaard is going to come on. Of course, they haven't got a right back because they allowed Cedric to go to... He's injured anyhow, isn't he? Arsenal. James Ward-Prowse is playing as an emergency right back because Jan Valerie's had a chest infection stroke virus for a very long time. And now James Ward-Prowse, the alternative right back, is being stretchered off and he's going to be replaced by Yannick Vestergaard. So there'll be a change of formation, I would have thought. Might have to go to a 3 and maybe play Redmond as a right wing back, possibly. We'll see. So James Ward-Prowse is off and on comes Yannick Vestergaard. Not sure that was the name that was read out by the tannoy announcer here, but it is Yannick Vestergaard who's coming on. He's had his locks shorn over the last little while, Yannick Vestergaard. Well, I think they're now in firm discussions, the Southampton back 3, 5, 4, whatever they are at the moment. They're trying to work it out for themselves. Is Jack Stevens going to go and play it right back? Possibly. We'll keep an eye on it as the ball's played over the top, and the first job for Vestergaard is to try and beat Son for pace. He takes it out into the left full-back position and just clears sensibly. Yeah, he's kicked it straight out of play there, but that's a sensible thing to do when you've just come on as a substitute. The last thing you need is like, right, OK, let's have a sprint with Son down the left-hand side. Just to make sure you're really warmed up, kid. But no, he's done exactly the right thing. Over 2 metres tall, or just about 2 metres tall, actually, Yannick Vestergaard. Some wonderful post on his Instagram page of him being on tour in Japan, and he tries to get under the shower, and the shower head is underneath the height of his head. Here is Sessegnon in towards the edge of the Southampton penalty. 6'4" in old money, is that? Yeah, 6'5", 6'6", I think. He's a big boy. Here is Stevens, who is playing at right back after that change, which has seen James Ward-Prowse go down the tunnel and looking quite some distress, and we do wish him the very best. Kilmarnock 2-0 up now away at Hearts in the Scottish Premiership this evening. Here in the FA Cup, 4th round, we're in a replay, and it's 1-1 between Tottenham and Southampton, as it was down at St Mary's in a really entertaining game. It started off pretty entertaining, this match, and then Tottenham, after scoring, seemed to sort of suck the life out of the match before Southampton ended up scoring their goal, which has put them into a good position in the match. There are no more replays. Obviously, we'll have extra time,
and penalties if we can't determine a winner in the next 45 minutes, although there will still be some injury time to be played at the end of this first half as Aurier goes down under pressure from Buffon. Free kick is given in favour of Tottenham Hotspur, who took the lead thanks to a Jack Stevens own goal. Here is Alderweireld, just in front of his 18-yard box, a couple of paces forward into Son, a nice touch out to the right. Aurier is the intended target. Vestergaard slides in, plays it against the Ivory Coast man and wins the throw-in.
He needed those long legs there, didn't he? If he mistimed that, then Aurier was down that right-hand side, free and away.
Collision involving Son, which doesn't get the free kick that the home fans desired. 63% possession for Southampton in the game. 7 shots from Southampton in the game to Tottenham's 2. 5 shots on target to Tottenham's 1 on target. Southampton statistically have dominated this game and they've had the better chances. It's 1-1. Here is Japhet Tanganga. Dyer, little flick round the corner. Just in front of the centre circle on the right side is Lucas Moura. Into Serge Aurier, back to Dyer, then on to Winks. Dyer, Winks again, but Long is coming back to fight for it. The clearance by Romeo goes straight to the halfway line. Tanganga finds Alderweireld as Tottenham turn it over again. Alderweireld with an ambitious pass to Tanganga, who does well, keeps it in and sends it back to Hugo Lloris in the Tottenham goal. He sends it forward, looking for Lucas Moura, headed away by Ryan Bertrand of Southampton. Flicked forward by Buffon, on to Long, who gets the better of Tanganga, and then ball comes back to Ryan Bertrand, who plays it against Toby Alderweireld. It's a corner kick to Southampton, with 90 seconds to go before the half-time whistle.
Well, I expect we're going to see, 4 minutes, I would say at least, of injury time in this.
Yeah.
But again, no player on the back post. I don't like that at all. If ever there's going to be a goal conceded from a corner, the back post is the most vital area to protect.
90 seconds to go at the end of the first half of regulation time plus injury time. Tottenham with defending to do here. 1-1 the score. Here is the corner. It's an out swinger towards the penalty spot. Vestergaard was underneath it. Oh, that's a mistake by Buffon, who allowed it to bounce, and Ndombele wanted to escape with the ball. Son will plays it left. Lucas Moura and Serge Aurier on the far side is steaming into space. He's not going to reach him now. Lucas Moura runs into the penalty area instead. Stab tackle by Jan Bednarak was well timed, and Southampton dispossessed Tottenham and snuff out any potential threat of a counter-attack. It just seems to me when Tottenham do counter-attack sometimes, Denny, they don't have that lightning gear that some other teams possess.
Well, when I looked at Sessegnon, who's supposed to be, sort of rapid,
Long,
really have a change of pace.
Out-mustering Vertonghen in the right fullback, in the right wing position, the left fullback position, onto Redmond, into midfield, and Buffon the sloppy pass, and now Son does break, and Aurier is up alongside him to his right, Lucas Moura to his left, and Son just kept wandering into trouble without passing the ball, and then fell over and gave it to Southampton.
It was 3-on-2, Tottenham for a moment. Son did really well to nick the ball initially. They're bursting forward. Moore is in acres of space on this left-hand side. I was waiting for him he was drifting towards the right-hand side. I'm just waiting for that little reverse ball. Little reverse one, round the corner. Moore one-on-one with the keeper. Time and space, you'd expect him to slot it away. But you're right, he just kept drifting towards that right-hand side and didn't really want to shoot, didn't really want to pass it, and in the end Southampton were able to get back and get a challenge on him. 3
goals in his last 3 games, which is obviously music to Jose Mourinho's ears after Harry Kane's injury, but for whatever reason there didn't look like pulling the trigger.
He's either got to pass or shoot.
He's got to pass it, really, isn't he? I mean, he's in a brilliant position. Yeah. He's drawn 2 defenders towards him. He's got 2 outside him in white shirts. He's got to pick one of them. Here is Redmond. Back to Højbjerg. Now Romeo midway inside the Tottenham half of the field. 4 minutes added at the end of the first half. 1-1 the score. Here's Danny Ings trying to turn. Clips it forward. On to Shane Long. Takes it down. Sets it back. Here's Jack Stevens with a chance to cross. It's a low ball in towards the edge of the D. Twirling is Redmond. Again, too much time to turn. His shot in the end went spiralling over the top of the crossbar. But the point is, again, Tottenham backed off him, allowed him to twist away, go back round the circuitous route and still get a shot away.
Sometimes it's almost like Tottenham go, well, we've got men behind the ball, we're safe. We're okay because we've got numbers back. That's not always the case. You've got to go and close the ball down. get in tight to people, stop them shooting, stop them being able to make that pass. Mourinho looks pretty glum, sat on the bench on the touchline at the moment. His team, they need to up the tempo in this game.
Well, they've won each of their last 3 home games and 7 of 9 under Mourinho. With Chelsea and Liverpool the only visiting teams to come out on top at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium since his arrival. It's always a tough task for the visitors, but tonight they've given Southampton active encouragement. 1-1, and we're into the second of 4 added at the end of the first half here on Talk Sport. The sports bar will be with you straight after the end of the game. Flick on by Ndombele. In behind the defence is Son. He takes on the defender. Sets up Serge Aurier, who gives it back to Son, who didn't want to strike it. And across came the defender. Bednarek got there first. And Son knows that he should have been more aggressive and got there quicker. He didn't. The ball back from Aurier wasn't great. The referee is allowing play on, though. He's going to check that Son's okay. Son's fine. He just knows that he should have got there quicker.
Yeah, I don't know why the referees decided to stop it. It's not a massively serious injury. It's not a head injury. Again, I mean, Son, again, he breaks so well to get into that space. He plays the ball out to Aurier. Again, probably should shoot. He cuts it back to Son, and it's actually, it's Son as he has his shot. I can't believe the referee doesn't give that as a foul, because it's Son that kicks Bednarek in the back of the legs, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, he hurts himself in the challenge.
He didn't get to the ball.
Yeah. So
it wasn't a great ball from Aurier.
No, it wasn't. But Son is swinging, but Bednarek gets there first, nicks the ball, and Son kicks the back of his ankles and hurts himself. It should have been a foul the other way.
It'd be interesting to know what Jose Mourinho is thinking at this point. I mean, he's not the easiest to read, even when sometimes I was in the tunnel with him against Watford, where I didn't think they were particularly good away from home, but they got a result. They ended up with a draw in that game.
But if they nick another one, if they go through playing like this, know exactly what he's going to say. No striker, injured, but we won't talk about that. No attacking midfield players, they're injured. Couldn't use Dele Alli because obviously he was injured from the should have been a red card. But we're not going to talk about that. But that's all he's going to talk about.
Ings has just broken away down the right-hand side and then tried to cross a ball into a penalty area where there was no Southampton jersey. Hugo Lloris has just diced with death a little bit and cut in field and picked the ball up and now bowled it out to Dyer. We're in the 4th of 4 added minutes at the end of the first half, and it is still 1-1 between Tottenham Hotspur and Southampton here on Talk Sport. And we have got championship action for you on Friday night live on Talk Sport 2. Make sure you join us for that, and then game day returns at the weekend. Here is Alderweireld at the heart of the Tottenham heart. Sends the ball forward and it goes straight out of play. The half-time whistle is blown and Jose Mourinho stomps down the tunnel. And knowing that his team really haven't played at their best, they did get in front though thanks to a Jack Stevens own goal and Ndombele effort which was deflected beyond the goalkeeper. But Southampton certainly worthy of their equaliser, scored by Shane Long with 10 minutes to go before half-time. Tottenham haven't lost an FA Cup home game since 2016, but they've had more than 1 or 2 scary moments in that first half. At the break, it's Tottenham 1, Southampton 1. Cheers, thanks. The second half about to get underway. Tottenham 1, Southampton 1, 135 minutes into the tie, and still nothing to separate these two teams. Spurs have won 8 of their last 9 home games against Southampton, losing only once, with all the games coming in the Premier League. They won 2-1 earlier in the season against Southampton, but lost recently. You'll remember they have got us underway in the second half, shooting from left to right towards that big, huge, raking wall that holds nearly 12,000 away to our right-hand side, that goes right up into the night sky.
Is it 12? It was 17.
17, I think it is 17. I think I've under-egged it. 17,000 that goes.
I tell you what, if the game's a bit boring, we'll start counting them. Sure.
I think you're right, to be fair. And here is Japhet Tanganga, one of the Tottenham back 3 in front of Lloris, Tanganga, Alderweireld and Vertonghen, the wing-backs Aurier and Sessegnon, Dyer and Winks, and then Ndombele in the centre with Son and Lucas as the 2 front men. And Ndombele adding sort of a link between the midfielders and the 2 forwards, and he has the ball on the halfway line, beaten to it by a more assertive Vestergaard. A step over by Ings is cut out by Alderweireld, and Ndombele comes forward. Infield it goes, it's collected by Lucas Moura and out towards the left-hand side. Helped on by Sessegnon, goes forward, it's poked away by Bednarek, and Long is chasing with Vertonghen, and he's giving Vertonghen a run for his money despite a 10-yard head start for the Belgian. The Southampton team, it's Angus Gunn in goal, Jack Stevens, Bednarak, Vestergaard and Bertrand in the back four, Boufal, Romeo, Højbjerg and Redmond behind Long and Ings. And James Ward-Prowse had to be substituted in the first half after what looked like a rather troubling injury. A lot of Southampton fans hoping that it isn't too serious, because they will need him as they continue their fight to stay in the Premier League. Ball by Dyer, given away to Bertrand. Redmond takes it on, goes back to Vestergaard. Southampton keep control. They're shooting from right to left in those dark black... Is it black or brown or blue? I'm not entirely sure from this distance, but it is a dark shirt with thick yellow trim and yellow shorts and socks.
Officially, it's tungsten.
Tungsten.
Yeah.
Oh, hi.
Come on, you're a fashion man. You should know these things.
Oh no, mate. You know I'm limited to just 2 shops on the high street, and they deliver. Ball is all the way back with Hugo Lloris away to our left-hand side. Alderweireld just right of the 18-yard box for Tottenham, sends it long over the top. Son can't chase it because he was in an offside position. Aurier can, but Bertrand will get there first. I don't think Gunn was particularly set for that, but managed to deal with it anyway. Goes back out into the left full-back position, and then it is cleared to Redmond. Redmond, who's run backwards rather than forwards, gives it back to his goalkeeper. And Angus Gunn will send it upfield. It's still 1-1 between Tottenham and Southampton. Since losing 1-0 to Crystal Palace in February 2016, Tottenham have won each of their last 7 home FA Cup matches, and scoring 25 goals across those victories. But although that sounds like a hefty amount, I think one of those was against Rochdale when they won by quite a considerable scoreline. That's certainly in the back of my mind. I remember Sags and I sitting at Wembley Stadium for that game. That was one of those where they first used VAR. It was minus 14 degrees that night, and there were so many punctuations in play. Here is Redmond out wide left, on to Danny Ings, who runs to the edge of the penalty area. He skates across the edge of the 18-yard box, plays it wide towards the right. It's picked up by Højbjerg, back out wide. Cross comes in from the right side by Boufal, almost ran through to Redmond. It was only half cleared by a quite regressive Tottenham, who is still standing watching as Redmond reacts quickest to this. Here is Romeo, sends the ball deep into the box. There's a header towards goal by Højbjerg. It's over the top of the crossbar. Tottenham once again quite reactive and not dealing with the Southampton pressure, and the second ball was very quickly won by Southampton, recycled and a chance created.
Again, it's Vertonghen in a poor position, jumps underneath the ball, mistimes the attempted header completely. Højbjerg can't quite direct it downwards and get it on target. But I think that summed up Tottenham's sort of play, that everybody was in their own box apart from Son, who was on the halfway line. It was a huge gap.
4 minutes gone in the second half. It's Tottenham 1, Southampton 1 on Talk Sport. Ralph Hasenhüttl.
Doesn't he look like John Macken, by the way?
Hasenhüttl?
Yeah.
Do you know what? I think he looks a lot better now than he did in the aftermath of that 9-0 defeat. I was actually worried about his health.
I've had a couple of double takes. I think that's John Macken on the sidelines.
Could fill in for him. Here going forward, the ball is with Ings. Oh, good turn, and plays it into Redmond, who's joining the attack. A reverse ball down the left-hand side. Doesn't quite reach Højbjerg. Ings is there quickest once again. Into the box. Dances past 1. Past 2. Will run to the edge of the area. Here's Boufal. Sends it wide. Terrible shot. Should have buried it. Should have put Southampton in front. He only had the goalkeeper to beat, and he was halfway down already.
And he's hit the corner flag.
And somehow it's gone out for a goal kick, but right by the corner flag.
I mean, that was an awful... Again, it's Vertonghen again, getting himself in all sorts of trouble. Ings wriggles through, has a shot. It's half blocked by Dyer. It squirms its way through on the angle, probably on the corner of the 6-yard box.
Oh, he's got to score.
A few yards outside that. And he's put it beyond the 6-yard box. It's like he's hit his heel. I mean, you've got to hit... You don't always have to score, but you have to hit the target in that situation.
That's even meant that you're lost for words, that one, hasn't it?
I'd have fancied myself to hit the target, at least from there.
Such a great chance for Sofiane Boufal and for Southampton to take the lead in the game. But it's 1-1. And he scored down at St Mary's to bring us to this replay. And he's had another... I think they had so many good chances, Southampton, in the game. Defensively, Tottenham again, not very good. I mean, Sags was doing Sunday Exclusive on Sunday and bringing us the details of the Manchester City game, and there were so many chances over and over again for Manchester City in that match that they didn't convert. And it's been a similar story tonight for Southampton, the latest visitors to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. 1-1. Here is Japhet Tanganga, and Tottenham about to make another change, and I think Jedson is coming on, who they signed from Benfica, made his debut against Watford, coming off the bench, box-to-box midfield player, and I wonder if he's going to come on for Tanguy and Ndombele, who again tonight has done some great things but not been consistent enough or reliable enough. That ball stayed in over on the far side, kept in by Son, and Spurs gallop forward into the area now, across into the centre. Lucas Moura with a header just wide. Well, it was an excellent run by Son, because he was the one who didn't give up the chase, and then he delivered the ball into the box. It might have been just a little bit behind him, which is why he didn't hit the target, but he got up there really well on the shoulder of the last defender, above Ryan Bertrand. Brilliant cross, and maybe he will feel when he looks back at that he should have hit the target too, Lucas Moura.
Brilliant play from Son. I mean, he's been the only real attacking threat. Occasionally Moura has got up alongside him to burst down one of the wings, but Son taking people on, delivers the ball. It's a glorious chance, have to say. He gets in front of Bertrand. It's a free header. He just doesn't connect well enough to get it on target. But again, a glorious opportunity. It's like no one wants to seem to win this game.
Well, they do. That's the irony of it is they actually do. The issue being that maybe they're both two teams struggling with a little bit of confidence still. 1-1. 8 minutes gone in the second half. You're listening to TalkSport. Sam Matterface alongside Danny Mills in the commentary box, high up in this futuristic, well-appointed arena. 3 tiers most of the way round, apart from away to our right when you've got the wall of noise. That's a bit of a poor pass by Redmond, who just got away down the left-hand side, 2 yards in from the touchline, and helped it on and away. Ralph Hasenhüttl wearing his skin-tight slate grey slacks as always. Change here for Tottenham as Jedson comes on, and Jan Vertonghen has been sacrificed, Danny.
I'm not surprised.
Off he comes, and Jedson is on. Tottenham 1, Southampton 1. FA Cup 4th round replay live on TalkSport with a Fiat professional range of vans. Get peace of mind with 5 years warranty, 5 years roadside assistance, and 5 years servicing. Terms and conditions apply. Search Fiat Pro 555. And Jan Vertonghen is slowly walking off behind the goal. I'm not sure whether or not he's picked up a niggle or he's disappointed.
There's no physio with him, is there? He's just gone off behind the goal, and it's a slow trudge back round. But he's not had a great night.
Might mean he can get an early plane away tonight for his winter break.
Well, but I think Jose's looked at it and thought,
Oh, lovely turn by Lucas Moura. He gets away from Bednarek, tries to sprint clear, pulled back by Bednarek. That's going to be a yellow card, a free kick.
Really neat turn, little Cruyff turn. Just dropped his shoulder, went the other way into the space, and Bednarek, it's one of those, isn't it? No, it was Bednarek. They initially gave the foul away. Just a little tug of the shirt. Yellow card for him, the Polish international, Jan Bednarek, who scored against Wolves in 3-2 defeat. He is the man who comes up with the most clearances and interceptions for Southampton this season, Jan Bednarek. Jan Vertonghen is still trudging round the perimeter of the pitch. He's just got back to Jose Mourinho, who slaps him on the back, and then he takes his... To be fair, he put his hand on his back, but didn't even look at him. Didn't even acknowledge him.
And he goes and sits in the back row of the Tottenham dugout. It remains 1-1 here on TalkSport between Tottenham and Southampton in the FA Cup. Here is Alderweireld, Romeu. Back to the right fullback now is Jack Stevens, up to Long, who helps it on into Højbjerg. The offside flag has gone up over on the far side. Look at Jan Vertonghen. He is sitting with his hands, both of his hands pressed together, fists pressed together, hugging the top of his lip, looking like he's just about to burst into tears.
Well, you have to admit, he's out of contract, isn't he? At the end of the season.
Yeah.
He's probably thinking, I'm not doing myself any sort of favours here, am I? Well, I'm trying to get a new club or a new contract. He knows he's had a poor night.
So you think that's a reaction to his own performance?
Oh, without a doubt.
Buffal, out to the left, onto Long, who speeds down into the left side of the Southampton attack. He guides it back to Redmond, who's 4 or 5 paces in from the touchline. It's across to Romeu, who's in the dead centre of the Tottenham half, back to the centre circle, and it's out wide towards the right, and it's all the way back to Bednarek once again, and Angus Gunn will see it back to his goalkeeper. 1-1, 57 on the clock. You're listening to Talk Sport. It's forward and up over the halfway line by Vestergaard into Japhet Tanganga, and then running down the left-hand side is Ings. Ings tries to get across, and it's come out and away by Japhet Tanganga. And Hasenhüttl shaking his head. He's not happy about something. He's got a bit of a gruff salt and pepper beard now as Ralph Hasenhüttl, and he wears these gloves. I don't know if you...
They're like biking gloves. They're like BMX gloves, aren't they?
Yeah, like, you know when you were a kid and you used to have goalkeeping gloves? They're like those cotton gloves with those little plastic stickers on the fingers. They're like those.
And the pimples on the front. Table tennis bats.
Old school.
But they sort of look like they look like BMX gloves or something, don't they?
Yeah. Here is Stevens, who's got up high on the right side. He's crossing to the near post. He's touched by Long, and he plays it against the defender, and it goes out for, well, I thought a corner. Alderweireld was pretty certain it was a goal kick, and David Coote, the referee, suggests it's the same, and Shane Long's not happy about it. The official over on the far side, Lee Beck, seems to think that it was the right decision.
Yeah, I think it is. From what I've seen, no, it's not. It's the wrong decision. What do I know?
Ndombele out to the right side from the halfway line onto Jedson, who cuts infield, spins the ball out towards the far touchline, chested down by Son, takes it infield, gets it onto his right foot, takes a cannon through a crowd of players, and then scoots behind the way for a Tottenham corner.
In our defence, though, we are a good 100 yards away and high up, and it was the wrong side of us. But now Tottenham corner, opportunity now.
And we can't ask for getting it wrong. The referee and the linesman got it wrong as well. Here is the corner on the near side. Son to take it. And the atmosphere has just turned up a couple of notches, as Danny says here, as Son prepares to take this corner. He's got 4 to aim at in the centre. Only 4. It's curled in, flicked away by Vestergaard because he's the tallest. It comes back to Ndombele, who's threatening to shoot here. He does. It takes several deflections, the last of which is off Bednarek, who takes it out towards the far side, keeps it in really well. And Southampton have possession with Sofiane Boufal, who tries to take on Jedson and goes past him, gets a kick. That's going to be a yellow card. Yeah, you're not going to get away with that.
No. Dele Alli's coming on as well. I think Mourinho's decided, right, enough's enough. Need to have a little bit of a change.
Oh, well, that is... we were told that was only going to happen if it really had to happen.
Well, maybe it does. Maybe he feels that, Tottenham just simply haven't got... he said they haven't really had an attacking threat. Son's been the liveliest by far, but he can't do it all alone. Vertonghen still sat on the bench, hasn't even put a jumper on yet, hasn't even put tracksuit bottoms on. I think he's sitting there, and as a player, when you've had a bad game, you know it hasn't happened. He's not stormed off down the tunnel, he's not thrown his arms around. He knows himself that it wasn't his best game this evening.
Dele Alli about to come on. Quarter of an hour into the second half, so hitting the hour mark. And the ball is out towards the far side, and Ryan Sessegnon has played it against Boufal. It's going to be a throw-in. So here's the change. Tanguy Ndombele is coming off, and Dele Alli is coming on.
Well, again, a player that hasn't had a spectacular game. People will say, OK, it was his shot that led to the goal, but it was poor, in all honesty. He was very, very lucky with that shot. He's tried lots of things that just simply haven't come off, and at times he's been second to the ball. It hasn't quite looked sharp enough.
Well, I mentioned earlier about the global plan they have for him in terms of making sure that everything is right in his diet, his nutrition, his exercise, his sports science. But he's got to want to do it, Sam. That's the big, He's a record signing. They've got to get the best out of him.
But you can lead a horse to water, but if it's not going to drink, it's not going to drink. Simple as that. He's got to want it.
Sofiane Boufal in towards the near post, punched away by Lloris, comes back to Redmond, who shoots. It takes a deflection off Aurier, comes back out to this right-hand side. Lloris made a meal of that cross, didn't he? Here's Romeu into the penalty area, away by Dyer, not the greatest of efforts. That's a poor flick by Lucas Moura. Vestergaard has stepped in, started another attack. Here's Redmond down the left-hand side. He's crossing to centre, not a very good one. Too close to the goalkeeper, who smothers it right in front of the 6-yard box, and it's cleared away. 1-1.
That was a cross from a really good position of no real thought about where it was going to go or who it was going to go to. He just fired it hard into an area too close to the goalkeeper.
I've broken a golden rule tonight. I told you I don't ever drink anything apart from water when I'm doing a commentary. But Deck, the producer, who looks
I've seen you had a Coke, you've had a...
No, during the game.
Sorry, sorry. Actually, it wasn't. It was Pepsi. Other brands are available.
But it's so cold tonight that Deck, the producer, Count Deck, has brought up the coffees for the second half, and I had to have a sip because it's so chilly. Ball sent down the right-hand side. Tottenham...
Are you not from the north?
Not really warming up. No, I'm from the south, but I live in the north.
Not acclimatised yet, then.
Caught by Lloris. Because of climate change, it's been colder down here than it has been up there over the last couple of years. Here is Dyer, twisting away from Ings.
You sit in an ice box every week, don't you?
Yeah. Talking of which, by the way, we should say congratulations to our good friend and competitor Kevin Kilband, who got engaged today. Congratulations to him. It's all over social media, so we must say congratulations to him.
Is he still in?
He's a top... But no, he's out.
Oh.
That's how he celebrated. Here is Son down the left-hand side, trying to get beyond... Jack Stevens doesn't manage to do that, but he's given the ball back by Boufal, and then he runs at the edge of the penalty area, and the South Korean felt he was fouled by Boufal. The referee said he wasn't. It's cleared away by Southampton, and it's a long raking ball out towards the left-hand side, where it's collected by Danny Ings, who runs towards the edge of the penalty area. He's got support in the box. Shane Long leaps. It's away by Sessegnon. It comes to Redmond on the edge of the D. Shuffled out to the right-hand side. Back into Redmond again. Too much room inside the penalty area for these Southampton players. It's gone out for a corner of Alderweireld. I've got to be honest with you, there's too much time and space inside the area for Southampton to do what they want. If they were more clinical, this game would be over and Tottenham would be out of the FA Cup.
Again, we said at the end of the first half, hesitancy, I think, from both teams. Southampton in front of goal and Tottenham just pretty much in general.
1-1, Tottenham against Southampton in the FA Cup. 63 minutes on the clock. A corner to be taken from over on the far side. There are 5 or 6 black and yellow jerseys bustling for position inside the area. It comes through Yannick Vestergaard, tipped over the top by a diving Hugo Lloris, who falls backwards and pushes the ball up and over the bar, and it goes out for a second successive corner.
Well, Vestergaard, 6'6" he is, absolutely huge, gets way above Toby Alderweireld. And I think Hugo Lloris, it's a good save, but he's a little bit fortunate because he pushes it almost straight up into the air, and it only goes about 6 inches over the crossbar, over the touchline. It almost came straight down into his own net.
Here's the corner in towards the near post this time. Harry Winks heads it away out on the far side and level with the edge of the penalty area. Tottenham 1, Southampton 1, and Bertrand is going to leave this for Jack Stevens to take, and he's going to switch back out to the left-hand side because of the corner that he'd taken from the far side. He was just out of position. There's a few warming up down in front of us here in both Tottenham and Southampton colours. The Southampton come forward with Stevens, plays it out to the right. Sofiane Boufal is down by the corner flag, attacking the goal away to our left. Sessegnon plays it out of play, and it's away for a Southampton throw. And the Southampton supporters that occupy that bottom corner, that arc round the corner flag opposite us, directly opposite us, are the ones who are in fine voice and expectant. Young lad wearing his specs tied in a Southampton flag and an away jersey. He's cheering away over in the corner as the throw-in is taken. It goes back to halfway. Bednarak forward over the top of the Ryan Sessegnon. Long, a real busy bee, causing problems for Sessegnon, who just hooks it into the air. He looks like he's suffering from a bit of the old cream crackeritis, Sessegnon, as we get into the 65th minute of the game.
Well, he hasn't had awful lot of football, has he? Although it's not been helter-skelter game, it's not been up and down, it's not been a ridiculously fast pace throughout.
Ball thrown on.
If you want a game to come into, you'd have said, especially the first half, it was the ideal one.
Ings onto Boufal. Boufal trying to get in behind once again. Across comes Sessegnon and clears it out to the far side. And Ralph Hasenhüttl is and has been a little bit unhappy about the replay eating into his side's winter break. He did have to put up with one wife of a player who was upset about the family trip to Barbados being curtailed. He didn't name names. Romeu forward to Højbjerg. Back to the centre circle where it's played on by Vestergaard out towards the left. Bertrand, I had 3 days off this week, to be fair, of football, and that was enough for a winter break for me.
But I mean, as a player, you know, if you take it to a replay, then that's the situation. That's what's going to happen. I mean, yes, it's tough because you do make plans, but these players have known for long enough that actually
it's only 3 days, though, isn't it? Let's be honest.
Well, no, but they've known for long enough that the fact is that if they don't get through the FA Cup, it does go to replay. They're going to have to play in it.
Indeed. Ralph Hasenhüttl is about to... I think it's Ralph Hasenhüttl who's making a change. We're not entirely sure because there's no player there to come on. 19 for 17. Stuart Armstrong has eventually joined us, and he's going to replace Sofiane Boufal. There is the change. And it's the second change of the day for Southampton because they lost James Ward-Prowse earlier in the game. And now Stuart Armstrong is on, wearing 17. So had a reasonably productive last couple of games, actually. He scored away at Palace and at Leicester, scored for Scotland against San Marino in October. He'll be trying to be part of the European Championships if Scotland can get past Israel and Norway and on to the Euros. And I know that some people don't, but I, in particular, would like to see Scotland at the European Championships. I'm saying it because you've said it before.
No, I'm England through and through, without a shadow of a doubt, but I would love all the home nations.
Long, into the centre, looking for Ings. Here comes the goalkeeper, Hugo Lloris.
I know that can't happen because obviously the two islands would play each other, but I would even love the Republic of Ireland to be there. I don't want them to do as well as England, when they get there, but I think it makes for a much better competition if they're all there.
So pleased Wales are there with Ryan Giggs in charge. Here is Long on the left, infield to Højbjerg. It's all Southampton. Yeah, and we're at the home of Tottenham Hotspur.
Watch Tottenham score on the breakaway.
Here's Jedson, forward into the Southampton half of the field now. Aurier joining the attack, into the box, plays it against Vestergaard, who blocks it with his body. It wasn't a handball. VAR is here, might check it, but I doubt it. It goes out of play on this near side, it's away for a throw. 1-1 the score, 68 minutes on the clock. And, Tottenham haven't been particularly good. And I think Jose Mourinho will be disappointed, and there's still a lot of work to do for him, despite obviously the upturn in the results. He's done, look, when you think about the way they were performing for a year before he took over, to get the upturn in results and the statistics that I mentioned in the first half.
Well, look at the result of the weekend as well.
It tells you that they're doing something right, but there's still a long way to go to get them to where he wants and this club want to be. This is an arena that is built for elite football, and there's still a long way to go before they're getting that. 24 minutes gone in the second half. 1-1 on Talk Sport. Ball up to the halfway line. Ings helps it on, but straight to Ryan Sessegnon in the centre circle for Tottenham, who brings it out to Heung-min Son, who's harassed, put to the floor by Stevens. Free kick given to Tottenham Hotspur. From 4 o'clock every weekday morning, you can download the new TalkSport Daily podcast. It will include some of the best bits from TalkSport, and if you miss any post-match reaction from tonight's match, it'll be ready and waiting for you on your way to work tomorrow morning. That's the TalkSport Daily, and you can listen to it on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or Acast. You a podcast listener?
Yes, of course.
When you're running?
When I'm out running, when I'm in the car, when I'm travelling. I think it's the way of the modern man, isn't it, Sam?
It's a long time since
catch up TV and things on demand and all that type of thing.
Absolutely. There's still a market for live radio, though, Danny. Don't forget that.
Live games, especially, of course.
And Alan Brazil's Sports Breakfast, which is back tomorrow at 6 a.m. Here's Dyer from the edge of the area, shooting from distance, hits the defender, goes over the top of the crossbar, and it's out for a corner. All of a sudden, a flicker into life of the Tottenham attack. Hasn't been too many efforts on goal. I don't think that goes down as a shot on target, but it certainly hit the right gluteal of Pierre Højbjerg and went out for a corner, which Son will take. Here is the corner kick. Again, 5 only to aim at in the centre. It's towards the far post. Has Dele Alli kicked it yet? Jedson has miskicked it. And it goes back to halfway, and then it's Jafik Tanganga who plays it out to this right-hand side. Winks helping it on. Chasing forward is Jedson. And away goes Bertrand with the header, which puts it out of play level with the edge of the penalty area. 1-1 the score here. Here is Lucas Moura. Away by Romeu, fighting for it. It's been a difficult game, this, for Tottenham. And it was never going to be easy. but Dele Alli trying to send Son away. Certainly would have been hoping to create more chances than they have done tonight. Vestergaard with a no-nonsense touch behind the goal out for a corner.
Well, another opportunity. Why would you say, right, this is at, £1 billion stadium?
Yeah.
They've not thought about the corner takers, have they? Because they've got, half a yard, and then it's
real bad camber, isn't it? Drops straight down.
It's a bit like Old Trafford used to be. We have to run up the hill and then take a corner.
Yeah, which is what Son is doing now, as he sends it in towards the edge of the 6-yard box, punched away by the right fist of Angus Gunn. It's collected by Aurier. It goes through the legs of Armstrong and then turns away from him. Jedson with a chance to cross from the angle of the penalty area. It's far too heavy, far too high, and it goes out on the far side. Here is Redmond trying to keep it in. Skates away from Dele Alli, runs into space, plays it wide to Ings, takes out half the Tottenham midfield. Ings into the D, right-footed shot into the net. It's a terrific Southampton goal on the counter-attack, and it's no surprise to anyone that it's Danny Ings who finishes it off. Southampton into the lead for the first time in the cup tie. 18 minutes to go at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, and Southampton lead Spurs by 2-1.
Fabulous finish, absolutely brilliant. Every single time he's wanted to come back onto his right foot, he waited, he was patient, and a precise finish right into the corner of the net. Of course, it was Tottenham's originally from their corner. The breakaway came. This never happened. It goes through 2 players on the half, 3 players on the halfway line. Plays the ball into Danny Ings, one-on-one with Tanganga. Should send him down the outside. Send him down the outside onto his left foot. Don't let him come inside onto his strong right foot. That's what he's been looking to do. Tanganga's not tight enough, but it's a brilliant finish right into the corner of the net.
Ultimately, that is the mistake that's cost Tottenham, because he's shown him in on the right foot and he's curled it perfectly into the corner.
They should have stopped him on the halfway line.
Nathan Redmond has gone past 5 Tottenham players from the right full-back position on the edge of his own penalty area to within 10 yards of the box before he's played it to Danny Ings. I mean, someone's got to at least try and put a tackle in.
And that's what, and the halfway, he stepped through 3 players and then was able to play that ball. I mean, really half-hearted, hesitant defending again from Tottenham.
Well, they conceded twice at home tonight. They could have conceded a lot more than that at the weekend. Got away with it. They haven't got away with it this evening. They trail by 2-1. And it has been, I think, a disappointing performance by Tottenham in the round. And Southampton have been the better team throughout. And I think the statistics will probably bear that out.
Oh, without a shadow of a doubt. Tottenham have come here, like the away side, have sat back and just waited for something to happen. 62%
possession, Southampton. 14 shots to Tottenham's 6. 7 shots on target to Tottenham's 1. 56,046 fans here tonight, including 5,690 Southampton fans, but it's those who are going back down the M3 who are going to be happiest at the moment, as Bertrand runs inside the fullback. He comes out, Hugo Lloris, and Bertrand goes down. The ball went behind, a goal kick is given.
He was waiting, wasn't he? He looked around in hope rather than anything else. There's no way this is a penalty.
Well, the ball had gone, and Lloris went underneath the
ball's out of play.
Doesn't matter.
Wait, ball's out of play. Of course it does. Ball's dead. Only thing you can give if the ball's out of play is violent conduct to sending off. You can't give a penalty if the ball's out of play.
If someone commits a foul,
it's irrelevant. The ball's out of play.
When both players are off the pitch, you have a free kick. Right,
you can't.
At the part of the exception.
It's like if someone's in the box.
Are you sure?
If someone's in the box from a corner and I elbow you in the face, it's not a penalty. It's just a sending off.
Correct.
Because the ball's not in play, so you can't give a foul because the ball's not in play, but you can send a player off.
But if 2 players are off the pitch at the same time and the ball is in play,
but they weren't off the pitch; they were on the pitch.
Oh, okay.
And the ball was out of play.
Semantics.
No. Not semantics at all.
Okay.
The ball was out of play when he went down.
It wasn't a penalty. Son has the ball on the left-hand side. Tottenham are looking for a equaliser. Here is Lucas Moura, just left of the D. He tries to get it out from under his feet. Dyer out towards the right-hand side. And here is Aurier. Aurier guiding it back to Eric Dyer once again. And now here on the right is Aurier. Aurier sending it wide into the path of Dele Alli. Dele Alli guides it back, just drags it back, waits, hesitates. Again, more frustration as Aurier curls across the far post, and Son couldn't get it under control, completely missed it. And Sessegnon is attacking the goal away to our left-hand side. 31 minutes gone. Into the box he goes, and he plays it against the defender, Oriol Romeu, and it goes behind and away for a corner kick.
Well, with injury time, we're looking at 15 or so minutes. Tottenham, they've really got to up the tempo now.
Here's the ball in towards the near post, flicked into the air by Shane Long, headed away by Bednarek, and it goes out towards the near touchline. Jedson goes to take the throw. Almost dropped it on the floor. Ended up playing it back to Tanganga, and then across to Ryan Sessegnon. And Southampton, again, well drilled, well organised. They all know their roles, and when they perform like this, Southampton, they are a match for anybody.
Harry Winks, discuss. Done enough for you this evening? Not for me, nowhere near.
Honestly, Danny, I've been surprised about how many few mentions he's had in this game. Here is Lucas Moura, on from Dele Alli, skips past one challenge and scores a brilliant goal from the edge of the box, driving it low past Angus Gunn, who couldn't reach it. Well, it's the first time he's had a shot all night. He was played in by Dele Alli, who just held it up enough for him to make some space for the shot, and Lucas Moura then rattled it past Angus Gunn, and it's 2-2.
Another outstanding finish. Lucas Moura hardly had a sight of goal all evening. Dele Alli gets the ball, he turns, he's driving at players, the ball goes in behind for him. It's a 1-2 in fact that he plays. Skips past the defender, opens it up. He's got all the time in the world. He's got his composure there. Vestergaard probably dived in a little bit, could have done better, but once he's in that position, he sticks that in 6 inches inside the post, into the side netting.
It's a great
absolutely
goal.
Great finish. And what we talked about earlier, Tottenham and Mourinho have this ability to suddenly just switch it, and it's so difficult to do that.
Well, Hasenhüttl was furious about something. Now, was there an incident further up the pitch where he felt that Danny Ings was fouled in the build-up to the Tottenham attack, and he's complained to the referee? Now, it has been checked by VAR and cleared by VAR, and we're back underway, but still Hasenhüttl's not happy at all. And Shane Long's now got an issue. He's getting some attention to his left knee, but Tottenham Hotspur are back in the game, and these two determined to take us to extra time tonight. The score: Tottenham 2, Southampton 2 in the 4th round of the FA Cup, live on TalkSport with a Fiat professional range of vans. Get peace of mind with 5 years warranty, 5 years roadside assistance and 5 years servicing. Terms and conditions apply. Search Fiat Pro 555. This is TalkSport, and we're 11 minutes before the conclusion, or what is the scheduled conclusion of the game. There might be a bit more of a twist in this tale yet. And a good 10 minutes still to play. Southampton has certainly seen its character improve since the 9-0 defeat to Leicester City. But over the longer term, this is a team that have dropped 42 points from winning positions since the start of last season, which is 13 more than any other team. So, you know, ultimately, there was every chance that Tottenham would fight back and get an equaliser. We're going to bring on Shea Adams very shortly. Here is Son into the penalty area down the left-hand side, trying to turn away from 2 defenders. Finds Dele Alli. Lucas Moura wanted the ball on the edge of the penalty area. Lucas Moura, by the way, hasn't scored very regularly in the absence of Harry Kane. 1 goal in 11 before tonight. That was in the previous FA Cup round with Middlesbrough. But he scored tonight, and it could be a crucial goal. Jedson trying to send it on to Aurier. Won by Bertrand, then Ings on towards Højbjerg, wanted the ball to run, but Alderweireld came and intercepted. Now Dyer's got it. Jedson, Lucas Moura, Jedson again. Højbjerg trying to get back into position. Vestergaard wins a header after it was looped into the air by Jedson. Don't think that was necessarily the smartest move by the former Benfica man, and it's cleared away out on this near side by Angus Gunn. Throw into Spurs. 2-2, 10 minutes to go. Going to be a change here. Shea Adams is coming on, and Shane Long is coming off. Right move?
Well, Shay Adams obviously is a goal scorer. We know that.
Is he?
Well, he has been. Not for Southampton particularly. But if you put him in front of goal, every chance to score. I mean,
29 appearances for Birmingham and Southampton without a goal.
Southampton, most of those off the bench, I would say.
Not in the early part of the season, and certainly not at Birmingham City. His last goal was April 2019 against Leeds United,
who tried to get him obviously in the window to score goals.
Yeah,
I think they offered 20 million, which is a big deal for a championship side.
Yeah.
But he is. He's going to come on. He's going to work hard, isn't he? But he is. I think he's the sort of player, if you give him a chance, that he might just be able to nick you a goal.
Well, Southampton fans will be hoping that this is the day that he scores his first goal for them. Here is Aurier. He's on the field now as Aurier goes down the right-hand side. Tries to thread it between two defenders. It comes through to Jedson, who's been quite busy since coming onto the pitch. And it goes out for a throw-in on this near side that he won. He's quite lively, isn't he? He's got good pedigree. Hasn't played too much football because of injury this season in Portugal, but he's certainly very well thought of, and Tottenham Hotspur have got him on loan until the end of the campaign, and then the possibility of a permanent deal after that. Here is Harry Winks. Back to halfway. Tanganga. Alderweireld back to Hugo Lloris, and Shay Adams is chasing down, trying to cause problems for Lloris. And Son tries to hold on to that clearance, can't do so. Jack Stevens sends it back to his goalkeeper. Well, whoever comes out victorious will certainly have earned their midwinter break. Fouled by Oriol Romeu, and Heung-min Son is asking for a yellow card there to David Koo. Where do you stand on that?
Well, once upon a time that used to be a yellow card in itself, didn't it?
Yeah.
What happened to that rule? I don't understand. I don't understand why that rule or that law got this. Oh,
now he's definitely going to get a yellow card.
That's a rugby tackle.
Oriol Romeu, who just escaped a booking for the challenge on Heung-min Son, has then decided that he does fancy one after all, and went crunching into Lucas Moura sort of with his arms.
If that's rugby, that's a late tackle, high tackle into the chest.
Free kick then to Tottenham Hotspur just in front of the centre circle. 7 minutes to go. 2-2 in the FA Cup fourth round replay. Here's Lucas Moura trying to get away from Shay Adams. Does onto Dyer. His cross is played against Vestergaard, goes behind and away for a corner, and Tottenham and their supporters just turn the temperature up once again inside the box.
Well, Son comes across again, and it's very, very difficult for him because he has to. His run-up's almost at a right angle, isn't it? Because of the slope of the pitch. It's hard for him to put in a real quality ball. So odd that they decided to do that. Here is the corner taken by Son into the centre of the penalty area, and it's over the top by Alderweireld, who rose above Vestergaard, in between him and Bertrand, who are now having a bit of an inquest as to how that header managed to come in, and it's over the top of the bar. Well, Tottenham Hotspur only 4 points behind Chelsea now in fifth position. The race for the top four will be fascinating, but putting a trophy on the shelf, which is a Mourinho trademark, would be wildly celebrated here, especially having just moved into this brand spanking new stadium. It will host European football over the next couple of weeks. Aston Villa coming here straight after the break. Then Leipzig on the 18th of February at home. Chelsea away, Wolves at home, Burnley away, Leipzig away after that, which is live on TalkSport, and Manchester United at home. Another yellow card has come out, and this time it's a booking for Shay Adams, who's only just come onto the field of play. He's made an impact at least. Two. Rangers have come back from one behind against Hibernian and now lead by 2-1. Steven Gerrard's team is trying to keep up the pressure on Neil Lennon's Celtic. Here is Dyer.
Curling the ball down the right side, up towards Aurier. Plays it against the hand of Vestergaard. Vestergaard comes away with the ball. Referee says play on.
It's only one hand.
Southampton take it up over the halfway line. Redmond cutting in from the left touchline, plays it square and behind at Armstrong. Dele Alli was aware and then played a lovely little back heel, which is dragged into Jedson's path. He returns it to Ali. Ali's first time ball is precise. On to Son, goes round the goalkeeper and brings him down. Penalty. And it's a yellow card for Gunn, who says he didn't touch Heung-min Son. He wags his finger and retreats into the 6-yard box, but it looked like a penalty all day long. VAR will check it just in case. The ball from Dele Alli was about as precise as you can get. Son was coming in. And was there any contact? Danny Mills.
I think there's enough to say that there's a penalty.
Well, I'm not sure about that.
Yeah, but equally...
I think he goes down after miscontrolling the ball.
Yeah, but he's going to score.
Well, but he fell over, didn't he?
Yeah, but he falls over because the goalkeeper...
It's going to VAR. Gunn doesn't think he touched him. David Coote's getting instructions. Son is preparing to take this penalty.
I think it's a penalty.
It looks like it's going to be given anyway. Well, the decision is foul, so they've given it. It was the merest of contact.
Yeah, but even then, you don't have to touch him for it to be a penalty. If he steps over him, he puts him off balance because he's made no contact.
Reckless.
He's made no contact.
It was reckless by Gunn. So here's a chance to win it for Son in the 87th minute. Steps up from the penalty spot and drills it into the corner and drills Tottenham Hotspur into the 5th round of the FA Cup by hook or by crook. Nice one, Son. Tottenham avoid extra time and avoid an embarrassing cup slip-up against Southampton with just 3 minutes remaining. 3-2 Tottenham.
Very good penalty. Unorthodox run-up, you have to say for sure. Started it, stuttered a little bit, and then whipped it into the left corner as he looks. Angus Gunn, no chance. Outstretched. Son waits to the last minute, fires into the corner. There will be a lot of talk about the penalty. Was it or wasn't it? I think yes. The way that Angus Gunn comes out, he makes no contact with the ball. Heung-min Son touches it past him. He's going to score. You know, the thing is, he's only off balance because Angus Gunn comes out, throws himself at him, and he's out. Whether there's a little bit of contact or not contact, if Gunn doesn't make that challenge and try and put him off in that way without touching the ball, Son just rolls it into an empty net.
3-2 to Tottenham Hotspur.
What we haven't mentioned, Dele Alli was outstanding.
It was a great ball. And we mentioned it in the build-up to it. It was a sensational ball.
The best part of that goal is...
the little drag back.
No, he nutmegged the referee to start it off.
88 minutes on the clock.
Go all the way back and look at it. He plays a little nutmeg on the referee to start that attack.
And in the absence of Kane, Son takes centre stage in the FA Cup again. It's his 19th goal in 21 FA Cup appearances. And it was a brilliant penalty, and relief is on the face of Jose Mourinho. It was a...
Is that what relief looks like? Because it doesn't look that relieved, does he?
Well, he'll be delighted to get through. Davinson Sanchez coming on to replace Sessegnon for the final few minutes of the game.
Yeah, just killing a little bit of time, killing the momentum, trying to stop Southampton building ahead of steam. Will be a minute left of normal time. Plus 3-4 minutes perhaps.
Yeah, something like that.
That's standard, isn't it?
And
Tottenham have got away with one so far. I have to say they haven't played particularly well. They've been hesitant all night long. It's been a very average performance from them. But Son, he has been their brightest player in an attacking sense. And Dele Alli's made a difference also when he's come on.
Lucas Moura wriggles away from Oriol Romeu and Armstrong onto Ali. On the left hand side is Son. He drives towards the edge of the box though. Dele Alli gets into the area now, plays it behind Lucas Moura onto Jedson, getting back to cover and retreating well was Danny Ings into the penalty area, and boy didn't he do well to get it away, because Tottenham were threatening to go forward once again. Ball picked up in the left full-back position, a foul by Jedson before Redmond can clear. It's going to be a free kick, and Southampton now will just shuttle the ball forward, surely.
Yeah, but that's not the worst place to give away a free kick. You know, down in that corner, Angus Gunn has to be honest. We're now into injury time. 5
minutes of added time. Bearing in mind we had James Ward-Prowse stretch it off in the first half and only had 4 minutes, why have we got 5 on this occasion?
Referees.
It seems a bit odd, but anyway. 5 minutes of added time at the end of the 90 on Talk Sport. Sam Matterface and Danny Mills bringing you live commentary of the FA Cup 4th round. Tottenham heading at the moment into the 5th round of the competition to play Norwich City in a midweek encounter. One step closer to what they hope will be a successful season, but they'll have to play better than this to negotiate their next opponents, as rather sloppily Southampton stray offside and give the ball back to Tottenham Hotspur. I must admit, the wind looks knocked out of the Southampton sails. Now Hasenhüttl not happy at all, trying to come up with some configuration to try and force extra time here. And we saw, remember last night, watching that Oxford and Newcastle game, which was also live on TalkSport 2 last night, that the game's not over until it's over.
Well, I mean, I thought you were a little bit premature when you said with 3 minutes to go, that's it, Tottenham into the next round.
We'll soon see.
They certainly will be hoping that's the case.
I think sometimes...
I think Vestergaard been thrown up front now.
He has. He's going up as a auxiliary centre forward. Here is Højbjerg.
Well, surely you've got to launch the ball into the box then, haven't you?
Yeah. Here is Redmond down that left-hand side, looking to attack the Tottenham penalty area. He delivers the ball deep towards the far post. Stevens was underneath it. Comes back to Armstrong after being headed away into the area for Højbjerg, looking to set it back for Shea Adams. It's away by Harry Winks and out for a throw. And we've played 2 minutes of the 5 that have been allocated. Here is the throw. It's going to be launched in from the far side. Wound up towards the near post. Vestergaard can't get there. Dyer does. Headed clear towards the edge of the area. Back in it goes towards Ings, who tosses it on, looking for Vestergaard. Cleared away by Tanganga. Comes back out to Ings, who strikes it. Offside flag was up anyway. And that was the end of that move.
I did think there was a foul just before that. I think someone clattered through the back of Son Heung-mon from the header. I mean, not quite sure what the referee was looking at. There's an arm in the back of his head. He got up and appealed to the referee, but fortunately for Tottenham, I think that it was given as offside, and now Hugo Lloris will just lump it as far forward downfield as he possibly can.
Yeah, keep away from danger as we reach the final few minutes of this game. Just approaching the 94th minute of the game. Here is Lucas Moura, then Dele Alli bundling forward. Bertrand gets it back to his goalkeeper, and he was dropped because he was a bit of a liability, Angus Gunn, and he has cost them the cup tie.
The rush of blood, wasn't it? Came steaming out, didn't get anywhere near the ball.
What should he have done in that situation? Because it was a good ball by Dele Alli.
So once you're committed, you've got to come and get the ball. Simple as that. It's just that he's misjudged it. He's not a million miles away, is he? From he's what, half a yard away from the ball?
Or not even that, really.
So when you come out, you've got to make sure you get there. The moment you lunge in as the last defender or as the goalkeeper, as the last player on the pitch, you always run the risk, of giving away a foul.
3-2, courtesy of that penalty given away by Gunn, converted by Son. Jose Mourinho is directing traffic on the edge of the technical area, more animated than he's been all night. He wants this over. João Sacramento comes out and does the same as assistant manager. It's thrown in from the near side by Southampton, kicked clear by Spurs. Winks sends it all the way high into the air, and Gunn collects it from the sky, bowls it out to the edge of his D, and then kicks long upfield towards Vestergaard, who wins the initial header away by Aurier. Jedson flicks it round the corner. What a lovely little touch beyond Bertrand that was. Then a foul by Højbjerg, and that's going to be a free kick. And now Jose Mourinho is saying, that's it. Remember that we want to kill the game here. This is finished. There's 30 seconds left. Don't force it. Don't give the ball away. Take the free kick. Manage the situation. Let's get out of here.
Definitely. I mean, it's a beautiful little flick. Just as it came in, it's one of those little sort of side foot heel over the top of his head. Sort of thing that you'd probably try in a five-a-side game.
Not a chance. Not anymore. I'm not allowed to play now. I've been banned. I always get injured. Here is Alderweireld, sent down the right.
Don't mind that.
Kicked it into touch. There's the full-time whistle. It's been 12 years since Tottenham have won silverware, and the desire to quench that thirst was one of the reasons for hiring Jose Mourinho. They're one step closer to fulfilling that dream thanks to Heung-min Son's 88th minute penalty. Now it's Norwich in round 5. Win that and the Spurs fans will really start believing, but they'll have to play a lot better than this. It's finished Tottenham 3, Southampton 2.